Hey, AfterBuzzers, Miller has finally resurfaced tonight. Gabe is in jail, then he's out of jail, maybe a terrorist, I don't know. We are covering How to Get Away with Murder, Season 5, Episode 12 right now.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What's up,
Hey,
guys?
AfterBuzzers!
We're back, guys. I'm so excited.
Back again.
Holy smokes.
We only have
Crazy
two
night.
more episodes, so two.
Yeah,
Can you believe that?
two
It
more.
goes so fast. I was just earlier being like, no. It goes way too
At
fast.
least they're quality episodes. They're
Yes.
so good.
Yeah, most
Yeah.
definitely. Before we get started, I'm your host, April Whisenhant, here with my always lovely panel. Next to me, we have Miss Elayna.
Hey guys, Elayna here.
And then Jaimi Gray.
Hey guys.
And CJ Walker.
What's up? CJ back again, guys.
Yes, y'all can follow us all at AfterBuzz TV. We have the live chat open, so please let us know what y'all thought of the episode because there's so much information that we got. Be sure to stay tuned. We have some great news and gossip for y'all, as well as our always amazing and right on point predictions.
Yes.
JK, we're literally never right.
Best predictions. And I already have my Keating's best for the special
I do
segment.
too.
Oh, yay. Okay, I'm going to think of mine while we're doing
I'm
it.
still thinking of mine.
I love it. What y'all think of the episode?
Man. It's like we always have a pause every time we're about to explain
We have to
it.
breathe.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, woosah,
Yeah.
and then let's get into it.
I thought it was good. I thought it gave me a lot of info. It's very exciting, especially the ending. Yeah, I thought it was a solid episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think solid is a good word. It was a solid episode, but I just felt so bad for Bonnie. I'm like, how much more can this girl take? You know, but overall, it was good. It was as exciting here and there, but yeah.
We don't always need to have heart attacks every week.
Right. So
What do you mean? You were having a heart attack when you were watching it?
I always have heart attacks. I think I have high blood pressure. I don't know.
I love tonight's episode. Like, okay, it wasn't. I don't know about for. Disregard April. It wasn't like heart attacky for me, but it definitely was solid, as CJ mentioned. It gave us enough. And as much as I loved it, that what makes me worried because I get really sucked in at this point, when, especially once they start like giving us more information and we start getting things to be revealed. And then they pull me in and then they say bye. So
Yeah.
I feel like we're at that point right now where like we have all these things happening tonight, all these bombs being dropped, maybe literally or not literally.
Oh my gosh.
That was so
Gabriel.
funny. Yeah.
But then I feel like this is just the uphill.
Yeah.
It's gonna get really intense.
I can feel that too. I feel like it's gonna get very, very crazy.
Yeah.
It wasn't the only part that was heart attacky for me was at the very end, and it wasn't that bad. But all the stuff at the very beginning, just how we start off with Gabe in prison. Obviously, Annalise is his lawyer. I was not even slightly thinking that they would go with the storyline that they did, as far as like he's in jail or they have this little like mini trial arraignment, whatever it was, because of him violating the Patriot Act. Like, what were y'all confused by that? I was totally confused by it at
So
first.
random. It's so random.
It blew me because I for sure thought that the voicemail that Gabriel left on Miller's phone would come up. I
Yeah.
did not think that it was
Yeah.
gonna go to terrorism. So I was like, huh?
Well, I mean, it came up last week. That's why she said, this is why we're questioning you because you left this voicemail on his phone. But that's why it was a little bit random to me. And I guess they just needed a reason to actually keep him there because think about it, everything they had on him is circumstantial. So you can't actually keep someone in jail. I watch a lot of Dateline for an extended period of time without an actual charge or whatever. And that's why they said it was because of him violating the Patriot Act and he essentially threw tear gas at a rally that he was in.
Terrorism.
Well, you can't
where was
do
that
anything to
from?
harm an officer or anyone. You can't do that. And it was from a protest
riot?
that he did
Okay.
because of someone being killed by a police officer.
That's
it
what
was
I was
the
thinking.
Ferguson.
That's what
I think
that's exactly what it looked like.
They planned it to be the Ferguson riot.
Yeah.
My thing about it though is they introduced Gabriel to us as a guy who likes to stand up for people, and they showed us that he was passionate about that, but they didn't give it to us enough. So for us to see photos of him throwing tear gas and him to have this fake ID in case he ever got arrested, I didn't really feel like this is who he was.
That's a good
Yeah.
great
It wasn't
point.
enough. It wasn't enough.
Yeah. You don't feel invested in that storyline because it just seemed a little kind of out of nowhere. I understand why they did it, but it was still kind of like, huh?
Right.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like a freedom fighter.
At all. But he is passionate. He is passionate for people. We see that when he's trying to fight the civil lawsuits and etc. So they gave it to us a little bit, just not to this extent where we would even think like where we'd be like, oh my gosh, yes.
Did you believe the story about that's why he had those fake IDs?
I was going to ask y'all that exact thing next, because at first I was like, wow, that's a very convenient way to kind of get out of having all of this fake stuff. But then I forget if it was Asher or who said it, but they were like, that's only like a state crime. I think actually maybe it was Annalise.
It was Annalise.
But, that's a state crime. Like, I mean, I've had friends have fake IDs and they didn't get arrested for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's a good like cover up for him to have, but it's also like, they know who he is. They were all eventually, he is going by his real name. So I do believe it.
Who is Mark Jackson? Because they called him Mark Jackson.
That was his fake ID.
The fake ID. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I don't trust Gabriel.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, to your question, do I believe that's why he had those fake IDs and licenses? The way that he cut them up, like, you know, if we know that he can't really do any time for having a fake ID, why would you cut him up in that manner? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it is still a crime.
It is a crime, but my thing is, he started the episode lying.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
okay. That's what I want to hear, why you actually think he's still lying. Because at this point, before they even get to the whole trial or whatever it is, let's call it an arraignment, Annalise is speaking with him and she's basically asking him everything. Like, we know everything. Tell me why you had this voicemail with Miller, whatever. And he, to me, is coming clean. Like, I can't think of a reason why he would have to lie about what he's saying. He's being straight up. He's like, Miller contacted, he could be lying about this part. He says Miller contacted him and it's like, I know you're going to be Annalise's student. My old boss, talking about the old DA, obviously Denver, was investigating her in all these, you know, other crimes, murders, whatever. So basically, we need your help. And if you help me with this, I'll help you with Sam. And he tells Annalise that, and he's like, why would I not? I told you from the very beginning I wanted to find out about my dad. I believe him. I can't think of why he would lie.
You also believe that phone call with his mom was real, too?
No, I don't. I'm not saying I believe him totally, but I just can't think of a reason why he would have to lie. I am very open to any answers.
Well, I'll say this. So it is hard to trust him. So I agree with you, Elayna, because if we think back, he's been lying to us from the very beginning. Then two, the FBI lady, I can't think of her name, but she offered him immunity, and he paused and he said, "Can I think about it?" What, like, okay, whose side are you on? I think he's a danger to himself and to other people around him because he doesn't really know the decisions to make right now.
That's a really,
and then
really
also, with the voicemail and him even working with Miller, the text to the mom, like, it's too much. Gabriel, I can't trust him at all.
Guys, I really feel like when his mom picked up or did not pick up, he hung up the phone. Like, when I was watching that scene, because he picked up the phone and he walked, it's an iPhone. I feel like he pressed the red button and he was talking to himself.
I think that's like a little too technical. I don't think that's what happened.
I could see what you mean, but then slightly a stretch, because if you know how was it an iPhone? Do we know?
Wasn't it
I don't
Android?
trust him, so I believe he hung up.
He probably had an Android. Like.
I think
It was Annalise's phone, though.
I think that his mom was probably on the other line going, what are you talking about? What? Oh my gosh.
That's
As
what
he's
I'm
sitting there
thinking,
being
too.
like, yeah, Mom, Michaela, I messed up. She's like, who the is Michaela?
In what
I think
world-
that's what was actually happening.
In what world does Annalise not tell him to put the phone on speaker? That's really what blew me.
Yeah.
Ooh,
And
rookie mistake.
I also feel
You're
like
right.
the mom's name could have just been some random person, and he just like saved it.
Yeah, that's
Like
so easy.
one of his friends
That was
saved it.
Annalise's phone.
Like, they found it because of the messages and the phone calls. You know, they have Oliver, so it obviously has to be her.
That was so Annalise had his mom number saved
Yeah.
in her phone, and he was like, "Why do you?" He said, "Oh, you have my mom's number," and she was like, "In case I needed to call her to give her an update about her son."
Yeah.
And remember when he answered, he was like, "This is a friend's phone." Cause
Okay, yeah. Well, then that throws out my theory. My other theory is, it could have just been like a voicemail, and he could be like, "Hey, Mom.
True.
I like Michaela. Blah blah blah." It's like, "Oh, please leave your message after the beep."
I mean, surely they would have ended up figuring that out, but also, like, who really knows? Moral of the story, I don't believe that it was a real phone call. But okay, CJ, why do you think he's lying?
Well, no, honestly, now I kind of like do believe him because there's only 2 episodes left, so they don't have enough time to create that story.
Or do they?
I don't think they do. It's 2 episodes. How are they gonna make that whole storyline about how he was lying and why in less than 2 hours?
I mean, the show does continue next season, so it could be a thing for them to, they always kind of end the season with like this is what happened, but this is totally not what happened.
Right.
So that, I mean, it could be what they're trying to do, but I just can't think of a single reason why.
I mean, honestly, I just need some depth to come, some depth, not death. I need depth to come out of him being arrested and all of this. I just need it to be a little deeper than...
Make it make sense.
Basically.
When Annalise is telling him, so he's obviously, charges dropped at this point. Well, the charges got dropped because they had to admit that they were filming him. And I was a little shocked that he was so surprised, because I'm like, how do you think they knew all of this stuff about you? But he's pissed, obviously.
I thought he could have been more pissed. Like, I was like, he's actually kind of calm. Like, if someone's watching you, they've been watching everything. I get it. It's a show, but like...
He was like, the shower.
Yeah.
Honey, everything
they
was
watched you
on.
shower. Yes, we watched you shower. JK.
Hey, guys. Before we move on to our next topic, we just wanted to say thank you for making us the ESPN of TV Talk. For us to continue to grow, we could really use your help. If you're on YouTube right now, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. If you're on iTunes, please give us a 5-star rating. But no matter where you are, leave us a comment so you can get involved in the conversation. Being a part of AfterBuzz TV has meant so much to all of us. And we truly appreciate you supporting us and doing what we love. Don't forget to tell your friends and keep enjoying our shows. Listen, I stalk the comments.
I do too.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
So please, guys, wherever you're watching from, if you watch this later, leave us a comment because we will find it and we will respond.
Yes.
Great comment right here. Keisha Charmaine says, I doubt, speaking about Gabe talking to his mom, I doubt he would want to stress his out mom by keeping her in the loop.
Facts, yeah.
That's just true. So it just goes to show, like, he had to figure something out. If he knows that his mom is, I don't think he's called her mentally unstable or that we've called her mentally unstable, but like she has issues of some sort.
Yeah, right.
He's going to want to do whatever he can to kind of like keep her out of that, obviously.
I had a good joke about that before the infomercial, but it's dead now.
Oh, no, shoot.
We'll say
Come back to it at the end.
Yeah, let's come back to it.
Okay, I want to ask y'all so we have the scene where Gabriel's out, he's talking to Annalise, and at this point, other things have happened in the show, which we'll of course get to, that make them say we need to use Gabriel to kind of plant this governor seed in the investigator's mind. So Annalise tells him, seemingly, like 99% truthful, that she was trying to adopt Wes and that this is their connection and that's why he probably killed Sam, because Sam didn't want her to do it, blah, 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 blah. And then we have the scene of Gabe talking to the investigator where he's like, yes, I would like the immunity. I would like this. And then he tells her Annalise was doing this. I thought for the first half of that scene that I'm like, oh, he's throwing her under the bus.
Right,
He got this
for a
piece of
hot
information and he is going to screw all of them. But then he ends up kind of saving the day because the investigator's like, oh, so do you want me, is she the one that you've been afraid of? And he's like, no, I just overheard Miller having this phone call to somebody named Lynn. Lynn, obviously being the governor.
He has a hidden agenda with that. I feel like he does.
That's why it's hard to trust him. Like, Gabriel, like, what are you up to?
What do you think is hidden? He did exactly what they asked him to do.
It's not that he did what they asked him to do. It's that he plays both sides really well.
Yeah, he does.
He does not throw the Keating 5, the Keatings, those are her kids. He doesn't throw any of the Keating 5 or Annalise under the bus, and he doesn't feed into the FBI and what they're doing. So I'm not really invested into him because I can't trust him. He plays
Sounds like
it too
he's
good.
being honest.
He needs to come back to the show, actually. Like, Rome, if you're watching, come back.
Like, this is the time. The first episode wasn't enough, but this is the time to come back.
To me, it sounds like he's being honest, and that's the reason. I think this is kind of the first lie that he's told, but it's not even a lie. It's what he was told to say. He has no reason to believe that Annalise isn't telling him the truth because as far as he knows, that's what she's been doing. Well, until he's like, oh, so everything before that was a lie? Whatever. But it just seems like he is helping them. No,
Helping
y'all disagree.
the
Y'all
Keating.
all looking at me like I'm crazy.
all
No,
the
I don't know.
I mean, I get it because that's what the facts are presenting to us. But honestly, I think my lack of trust in him is really because the writers made me this person. They made me.
Look what you did to me.
Look what you did to me. The writers made me not trust anyone, really. So I don't know. I really do hope.
You don't trust anyone on there?
No.
You can't.
Not even Asher?
No.
Hell no.
Thank you, next.
No.
No, just kidding.
I want to learn that Gabriel has been telling the truth this whole time.
Right.
But I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't.
Well, this is another suspicious thing, I guess, like on the government's part. So I say government, meaning like the FBI, governor, you know, they could all be in cahoots at this point. But what's the reason that the FBI would have had to plant the evidence in Gabriel's apartment?
They didn't.
Just to keep, they did.
Did they?
That was
That's
fake.
the video
I
that
thought
we saw.
The video was fake, though.
No.
I thought the video was of them looking
That
through
is
the
a
room and
bomb.
finding
No,
nothing.
no, they planted like the
mask.
mask under his bed, and then that's how they arrested him because
Okay.
they like
They
tied
found
that
it.
to the picture.
Yeah.
So they're like, "That's you because we found this mask in your room."
This whole time, I thought that Oliver had some super hack genius skills.
Yeah.
And planned, like, and made that video what it was.
With some like CGI. And
Oh my word,
I
y'all are
swear.
crazy.
But that made no sense, so I don't know why I sat through the show and thought that.
Okay, so we don't know why they would have done that, other than just wanting to keep him in.
Well,
What though?
it's also the same question on why does the FBI have this vendetta against Annalise? Because even when Tegan had her secret meeting in the car with head of FBI,
Yeah, why is that lady like so aggressive?
Honestly, I feel like everybody's gunning for Annalise this whole episode.
So is that coming from Lynn? Is that coming from the governor because of Annalise and hers dealing? Mm-hmm. And you know, she's sending everybody after her, or what? Because I feel like there is something else behind that.
We haven't seen the governor in so long, though. I feel like it's
She's
going to
up
be
to
random
something.
when
But
she comes back.
But girl,
obviously.
she cannot stand Annalise.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Black
I-
Magic 99. You thought this man
Yeah,
was
I was over here laughing at that. Black Magic has the best comments.
somebody put
Oliver Spielberg. Oh,
wow.
Listen, I was just so. It was just very
have predictions. It's
fascinating.
okay.
Yeah, that was
We're
amazing.
creative.
Everyone in chat, we like to follow y'all's flow as well. Everyone in chat is talking about the whole Tegan situation. So I want to talk about
Yes.
Tegan and investigator lady. Please remind us of her name because I cannot remember.
With the
We keep calling
FBI
her
lady?
FBI
Yeah.
lady.
We're gonna call her Cruella.
I keep calling her investigator. But we know that Tegan was an informant for her, obviously, with the Jorge Castillo case.
Castillo.
But they are kind of still having like these little phone calls, whatever, because she knows. I mean, obviously Tegan works with Annalise, so there's this connection there. My main whole spiel about her part tonight is, do you think the email that they sent to her pretending to be Jane Doe, trying to essentially shut her up from talking to the investigator, is going to backfire? Or do you think it will work?
Most definitely gonna backfire.
I disagree with those. I think
That's fine.
I think
Thank you,
that
CJ.
that storyline is also just gonna like fall off out of nowhere, and we're not gonna hear about it again.
Really?
I really do.
Well, I don't know because the whole Crawford getting involved and starting to bring IT into situations. I feel like when Annalise asked Oliver and she shut the room up, will this get back to you? And he said no. I feel like somewhere or another that's gonna get spun around.
But he did it from his computer, so if anything, it'll go to him.
What? But see what I'm saying? It's gonna go to somebody. See what I'm saying? They got caught.
I don't think that Tegan even fully trusts Annalise, because if you think she's just that character that's always there, you know, at the law firm. She has of course she has her role in the show, but I think they have more coming with her character because she hasn't let go of Annalise even just from previous seasons. They were not always on good terms. So I feel like we need to be on the lookout for Tegan too.
To that note, I honestly don't feel like she trusts anyone.
Yeah.
Because
She hates Michaela.
she's always.
If I was her, I wouldn't trust anyone.
She's always like being left out in a sense or being plotted
She's
against.
like the new Oliver, kind of.
Which made I really she is.
That's a good one.
I really had to think though. I had to ask myself, do I really believe that when she called the FBI to say, "Hey, you're in town, we should get together," if she called to really inquire if Jorge was behind Miller because of Denver or if she called for other reasons. I had to really test what her motives were because
What do you think?
she seemed surprised when the FBI brought up that to call her if anything happened with Annalise.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, okay, I don't know. But then she was like, yeah, I'll call if something changes.
But then it's like Michaela goes and ruins that by doing what she does. She goes and tells her that they're investigating Nate. And that's obviously going to put up every feeler in her mind. And then she has the ridiculous idea to send her this email, which is just going to terrify her. Because think about it. At the very beginning where we see the investigator talking to Tegan on the phone in the car, or I forget where they are. And she's like, we'll offer you protection. She's like, protection from what? Because she's already been given full immunity and obviously this, fake informant ID. So even I was like, what could she possibly be protecting her from? But the investigator definitely seems like the shady type of person who would be, is gonna always kind of hold that over her head. Yeah. Because it's like, it's never going to be enough as long as they need information from you.
Did anyone think that there was something going on between the investigator and Tegan? Like, where is this bond coming from? How do you know each other?
Like, sexually?
Yes,
possibly romantically.
We just need to hook up on this show. We think everybody's hooking up.
Right, but it's like, I'm just wondering what it is because, like, Tegan, how do you know her? What's the connection?
I thought so before. Yeah. Before they got together in their cars, trying not to leave any clues. Yeah. I thought that they may have been romantically involved because of the way that they interacted. But at this point, no. I mean, I think Tegan is just very sexy in general. Right. So, yeah.
We just think she's with everybody. Right. Because sometimes I think that about her and Crawford, too.
I think she's just so feminine.
I could see it. I could see it.
She's so what?
She has that vibe. That vibe.
It's something.
That essence.
Yeah. It's
I
like
wanted to sing a song, but I couldn't think of what it's called. Like
I want to sing one, but it's no longer appropriate.
I don't know.
Oh, guys, please don't sing.
It's something from Sex and the City. I don't know.
AfterBuzz.
What did y'all think about Crawford asking Annalise if she trusts Tegan? I wasn't surprised that Annalise kind of fully stood up for her and was like, yeah, she had this information. She protected you. Were y'all surprised or no?
No.
I guess.
Plus, I think Annalise actually likes Tegan, not like in a flirtatious way, but I think she just likes her as a person.
They get each other.
Yeah.
Even when they hated each other because they kind of are each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that they have come to a place where they can bond and build some type of friendship. And I think they both know I don't ever want to get on each other, like on one another's bad side again because they both have what it takes to bring one another down.
Right.
I feel.
Tegan's not as confident and strong as Annalise, I don't think.
I think she has it in her.
She could, but it's like she's not as hard as Annalise is at the moment. So she's just kind of like, okay. She's basically like dipping her toes in where Annalise is already, 6 feet under, essentially.
But also, it's going to be written like that because this is Annalise's show. You know what I mean? So Tegan can't come in and be more powerful. We're always going to feel like, Annalise will be able to overpower her. But I think that's just the reason why Annalise stood up for her.
Yeah.
Tegan might surprise us, too, though.
She might
surprise us.
Well, she surprised me at the end when she's like, oh, hey, look at this. And Miller's body. But before we get there, I want to hear what y'all think about Crawford asking for the emails. Do you think he did it because he's jealous? Because Annalise stood up for Tegan, and obviously he and Tegan kind of have this like jokey thing back and forth about the both of them having a thing for Annalise? Or do you think he did it because
I think
found it to be sketchy?
He's just like bored and he has nothing else to do. He doesn't know how to go for the girl that he wants, and that's how he's doing it, by stalking her life.
And in the chat room, I agree with Ebony because she feels like Crawford needs some friends. And I think that's what it comes down to. Black Magic also says with benefits. I think he needs to get laid and he just needs something else to distract him and to invest his time in.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, he's not wrong to follow the hunch, but I'm just disappointed because of the bond that they have built. You know what I mean?
No, maybe he thinks it's one-sided, though, and it kind of maybe
the
is
Annalise
one-sided.
and Crawford
like
bond?
maybe he's trying to defend Annalise. I don't know. It's a little tricky, but yeah, when I saw him on the phone, it made me nervous. It made me scared. Like, what are you doing? But hopefully he is trying to help Annalise, in this way. But I think it's because everything's happening around him. He feels left out.
The Crawford and Annalise bond, yeah.
Yeah, but he's like, what's going on with Tegan? Okay, now Annalise has this going on in this case. I think he's just kind of like, he wants to be in the loop.
Yeah, that's true.
Curiosity killed the cat?
Amen. This other bond that's kind of reforming, or I don't know, is Bonnie and Frank. Not what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say Michaela and Gabriel.
Ew.
Yes,
them
that
too.
too. But Bonnie and Frank, they seem to have, you know, obviously we know that they've hooked up multiple times in the past, and she's grieving, but something just seems a little different
that's
with them at this
innocent.
time. No, I think it's innocent too, but like I think they're getting back to like who they originally were when the show first started, like the best of friends. But it's kind of sweet how he's essentially dropping everything, even though I guess he doesn't really have much else to do.
What does Frank do?
He was in law school, I thought. I don't know.
That's a great question,
To stalk
actually.
Gabriel. He was in law school to stalk
Oh,
Gabriel.
yeah,
Like,
you're
what
right.
does he do when he's not doing all this stuff?
I
That's a
think
great
this is his work, so I guess that's what
I
he's
want
doing.
to actually, I would love
Yeah.
to see more backstory on Frank, and I feel like maybe in future seasons they might, but
A spinoff. A spinoff called
well,
What?
maybe.
What about Frank? Or I don't. That was a bad name.
Yeah.
Right.
Think about that.
But with Frank and Bonnie, I think it is really sweet, like what they have going on. I don't know how to explain it, but if you guys remember in previous seasons, they had hooked up before.
Yeah.
But I think this time around, he's having more feelings for her. I don't know exactly what to call it, but I like seeing this side of him.
I think Frank has a heart for when women are hurt. Because we tend to see this side of him when
Didn't he
Annalise is
kill a woman? Many women?
Multiple.
he's killed many people.
Mostly men, I think.
However, but the people that he cares about, very
Yeah.
few. That's like Annalise and Bonnie, basically, and Laurel. He loves them. And when they're hurting, he always shifts into this person where we're like, oh, I love how he's stepping up. I love how he's
Yeah.
trying to be there. And Annalise didn't allow him to be there for her, but we can see how he is with Bonnie. And I think that's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing that chemistry. And he just has some type of soft spot for the women he loves.
That's true.
I agree.
But he seems to kind of be like wanting her to not take the path that she's going, as far as like asking everybody and their mama who Miller's contact was at the governor's office. To me, it seems so obvious that I'm like, and even the receptionist kind of picked up on it when she goes to her. She's like, do you know the name of his contact? She's like, no, why would I know that? And then she goes as far to see his mom. And I knew that was going to be just a total waste of time, obviously. But it makes her feel this pain because she obviously sees how much pain his mom is in, which ends up leading to she and Nate revealing, or an anonymous tip saying where Miller's body is found. You think, good idea, bad idea, or sweet idea? 3 options there.
I think it was a bad idea because they can find something that ties them back
Yeah.
to, especially with like the post that Asher's mom did. That was ridiculous.
Connor's mom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Connor's mom did
Yeah.
with
I know Connor feels awful.
with Nate and Miller in the background. That
Well, she had
was-
no idea, obviously, but first
Right.
of all, why would
First
she
of all-
ever have posted that picture anyway?
Thank you. I was like, what is
Who are
up
your
with his
friends?
mom?
Posted
Yeah.
not cute. That was not
No.
a cute
And it
photo.
wasn't even a good one. Like, you need a filter, girl, everything.
I just keep thinking, I'm like, maybe, I know, like,
No
if
shade.
anyone sees it in the slightest, for a second, obviously it's out there. But I'm like, maybe his mom had a private Instagram profile, nobody can find it.
I
And
mean,
plus, it
but
looks
the
like she,
government can see everything.
but it looks like she had just posted it, right? Because he was like, "Oh, I had this notification. I got tagged." So it's like, call her up, tell her to delete it, or report. Well, maybe report it. But I'm like, what did they hit up Instagram? I don't know. But it's like, get her to take it down.
But does his mom not realize that a bunch of stuff's going on with Miller and Miller's in the back of her picture?
I don't think so.
think
She
she
seems
does.
pretty clueless.
Yeah, but that's why I like that Nate and Bonnie gave the tip. I like that they found the body because this is the stuff that makes our heart beat really fast because we don't know what the heck is going to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I love that we're on the edge of our seat.
Yeah.
And then she posted that photo and we're losing our minds. This is going to be good.
It
guys.
is. I also lost my mind whenever Nate, oh my gosh, Frank gives Nate the copy of Miller's phone records from his burner phone or whatever, and then Nate ends up finding the connection that the lady who's involved in the adoption with Wes and Annalise was a person that Miller had been calling. So Miller seems to be
Sketchy.
kind of racking up on this, but the reason I loved that scene the most is because Annalise is like, what? And they're like, we're not saying it's good, but it's what we have. Nate is the one that says that, which killed me. And Annalise is like, y'all are, I forgot what she said, but she had some amazing lines right there. And it's true. That's the one thing that she's been like, I need y'all to protect me from this.
Right.
And you're going to go and use this piece of information because you essentially have a hunch.
Right.
Like, it's not right. She really does do everything that she can to protect. And I did love when she was like, fine, go ahead, use it. I get y'all out of everything. I'll do whatever I have to do.
Well, I mean, it did help her.
In Nate's defense, though, because that was the second time that they kind of had that interaction this episode.
Yeah.
Earlier, he also said, if you want us to trust you with Gabriel, then trust me with what my gut is feeling. He's had to constantly say that for the last few episodes.
But it does tie her to Sam's murderer.
And
She always gets the short end of the stick.
And it does. However, really, what else could they have done?
Well, I don't know if there's another option.
What's the other option?
I guess,
Because if the roles were reversed and it was Annalise and this was the only option,
She would totally use it.
She would totally use it. So why are we not judging her the same way?
Because she has done everything that she possibly could to protect them in other ways. And it's like the one time she asked to be protected, please don't use this piece of information. They're like, well...
You're right. I get it, but...
But then again, she did also put Nate in jail in season 1 and framed him, and I'm pretty sure she's done a lot to Bonnie and a lot
She would
to...
use
Oh, yeah,
it
she
if the
has.
roles were reversed. That's all I'm saying.
Ebony says she's like the Dina Lohan of How to Get Away with Murder.
I need to know what that means, by the way.
Like Lindsay Lohan's mom?
But how, though?
I don't know
How
what
is
she's
she
like.
Dina? Explain, Ebony.
Explain to us. Ebony, while you are explaining to that, I want to talk about our Keating's best for the episode.
Yes.
So Keating's best is basically when we talk about the MVP of tonight's episode. So we go through like all the characters minus Annalise and think of...
Mine is Annalise.
Yeah,
This
she
is
can't
a
be
new
her
rule.
own.
No.
We've
She's
never-
not
we've
Keating's
never
best. She's
used-
Annalise Keating.
That is
Well-
a new rule that you cannot throw at us last minute.
Well, who
Right.
do you guys think is your Keating's best for tonight? I will start with you this time.
Oh, okay. I'm going to go with Bonnie. And the reason I say Bonnie is because that girl, her heart is literally like... and she has an elastic heart because she's been through so much. Hey, Sia. She's been through so much, like this entire season. But just the amount of pressure that she's put on herself, her wanting to let it all go last episode. Just with even meeting the mom, the acting skills. I don't know how she does it, but I want to give her my Keating's best, hands down.
I like it.
That's good.
What do you think?
Yeah.
I'm looking at
what
you.
about
Wow, I'm gonna give my Keating's best to Annalise because y'all.
Okay.
Okay, what?
Go ahead.
She gets to say her Keating's
Annalise
best.
can't be Keating's best. She is Keating.
Exactly. She's her own best person.
Yeah, why not? Go for it. Tell us why.
Okay, Annalise, and choose two people then.
Okay, so one, Annalise, because she just jumped on to Gabriel calling her to be her attorney, and she's really just been taking everything that's come her way, including the information she didn't want out there, and she eventually jumps on board. She'd had Tegan back, and usually we know her to like be conniving and backstabbing to people, especially those around her, but she hasn't been revealing that to us. So I feel like as a woman, she's just really getting it together. I love the sober Annalise.
And then if
Except
not
she's not
Annalise,
sober.
She's been sober like one episode now.
Well, so we know.
Baby steps. It's
Baby
okay.
step. And if not Annalise, then I will give it to Frank for finding the phone records, for being there for Bonnie, and kind of being like the shadow glue.
I like that.
Okay.
I have to call this comment really quick because it made me laugh. Ebony Morissette says, Connor's mom out here wilding with no shame like Dina Lohan. I understand
I get it now.
I didn't even read the last
wait,
part.
what
I
did
just like
Dina
the first.
Lohan do that was wild?
She's wild.
She
I don't know,
probably,
reality
like-
shows.
Yeah, crazy.
You tell us, Ebony.
My Keating's best, everyone's gonna love it, I just know, is Gabriel because
I agree with you on that.
I think whether he's lying about some things, whether he has ulterior motives, I do believe he is just trying to find out about his dad. But I also,
Okay, I don't
I'm giving
agree
him
with
my
you on that.
Keating's best, not just, but like I think that is part of his motivation. But I'm giving it to him because he tricked me when I thought he was going against them, but he actually did what he could to help Annalise. And that's the reason why the very last scene of the episode, they talk about the FBI investigators pulling up to the governor's house because he is the ultimate one who planted that seed in their mind. So Gabriel gets my
Snaps
Keating's
for
best.
April.
I'm here for it.
So
I'm here for it.
For me, I also agree. I think it is Gabriel because, especially because of the last thing that he did for them and
Yeah.
got everyone looking at the governor. So he just drew all the attention off of like the Keating Five and Annalise. So.
Yeah.
Gabriel for the win.
Gabriel for the win. We didn't see much of the Keating Five tonight.
A little bit.
But tell us who you guys think your Keating's best is in the comments below. We would love to hear.
We have one
and chat.
Michaela. Yes, brought me in
guys.
because of the clutch email. No, maybe not. Maybe not.
What I can say, so Black Magic is in favor of Michaela, and I wanted to bring this up earlier when you mentioned that she brought the information to Tegan when she shouldn't have. I actually thought that was really smart because what she was trying to do was give Tegan something to bite on, to feel included and to feel incorporated so that they aren't in cahoots behind her back.
Right.
It just backfired when Crawford came in with information about Gabriel.
Yeah.
So it was a smart plan with Michaela. It just never
But why
really
would she
falls through.
swear on her unborn kids if she knew she was still
Because she doesn't care.
Yeah,
Because
Michaela's-
That's why I literally was like, she doesn't care.
that's why she's trashed most of the time.
right.
Yeah, I like it.
We love you.
Okay, Jaimi, you have some good news and gossip for us?
Yes. Okay.
I'm so ready for this.
Oh, yeah.
All right, you guys. So in today's news and gossip, so let's start with Viola Davis. As you guys know, I love saying her name. Okay, so Miss Viola. So she recently did an article where she was talking about the impact that Cicely Tyson had on her life. As you guys know, Cicely Tyson plays Annalise's mother, and she talks about the time where the show was looking for someone to play Annalise's mom, and she was like, Cicely Tyson is perfect. So in the magazine, she says, there I was sitting on the floor like a little girl again. No wig, no makeup, and there was the then 91-year-old Miss Tyson behind me. All grace and grit, her hands strong, parting my hair, scratching my scalp, the way hundreds of thousands of black mothers have done for their daughters, the way mine did for me. I love that. I thought it was so beautiful. Because you guys remember back in previous seasons when we've seen Annalise with her hair and her wigs, taken off all the time.
Snatched.
Well, like, but
Not in that
literally
way.
not in that way, but like literally the wig off. Okay,
Yeah.
no makeup, no hair tie either. But anyway, it was such a big deal back then for her as a black woman to show that side of her.
Yes.
And so that was amazing. And so I like that she brought that up about Cicely Tyson because she said that she inspired her.
Did not know she was 91.
Yeah, and she looks good.
amazing.
She just came. She was just on the magazine cover too.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Oh yeah, she was. I did see that.
She had on all red, so I want to say it was time because she blended in with the background.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Really
That's
pretty.
that's another good one. So you guys got to check that out.
Wasn't she in like Medea?
Yeah, she was
A
in
few of
Medea's
them.
family reunion. Yeah, a whole bunch of them. But in other news, so we have Miss Asia Naomi King, who plays Michaela.
Gorgeous.
She's also been, of course, Keating's best twice tonight. She was on the cover of Nylon magazine and literally the entire website. So in honor of Black History Month, you can check it out on nylon.com. She does talk about why it's so important to have diversity on sets. And she just says to be a part of what younger people will look to their TVs and see themselves being reflected, seeing themselves being visible. It will teach them that these are the things that they can achieve. Because unless you see it, you don't know it's possible.
I love that.
I love that too.
Come on with all of these gems.
Yes, Black Girl Magic.
Oh my gosh, she looks so.
She looks so
wow.
good. Look at these beautiful photos from her shoot.
She looks amazing.
Stunning.
Teeth game strong.
Yes.
Wait, I kind of want to do a shoot now.
Right?
Let's do
Inspo. But yeah, guys, that is our news and gossip in honor of Black History Month.
Love
Oh,
it.
there's one more news and gossip.
Go for it. What is it?
My birthday's in 12 days.
We
Oh,
will
so
celebrate your
Pisces.
birthday in 12 days.
So will. Elayna was right. It was time that she was on the cover of.
Cicely Tyson was on the cover
Time.
of Time, and she looked effortless.
Yes.
Okay, y'all.
Also, wait, while we're talking about her really quickly, I can say that the teaser from last week tricked us, or
Yeah, I was like, where's that at?
yeah, okay. Thought it
Oh,
was
because
just
we
me.
thought she was going to be here.
Yeah, we thought it
I'm
was going to
waiting
be
on
this
it, but
episode.
maybe the next two, because we have two more, so I don't know.
Maybe we can think about
But
it.
they're smart. It's going to get even more awkward. I'll just save it for predictions.
Yeah.
Same.
Okay, 2 episodes left. What are your predictions?
There you go. You go. Oh.
And now,
I am channeling my inner future
Yeah.
because I'm smart. So
Jaimi, you go first. What are your
Okay.
predictions?
So mine are a little bit jumbled because I still have some questions, but first, we still don't know who Gabriel was talking to on that phone.
If he
Remember
was talking to anyone.
when he remember not for today's episode, but previous episodes, because again we still have those two left. And remember when he came into the studio, he said the person on the phone, you'll never guess who it is. Who the heck is on that phone? So I'm still wondering that and how it all coincides to where he is now, because I'm sure they see all of this. I also think that Miller's mother knows a little more. I think she's a little skeptical. Something just tells me there's something up with that. And then all those people that were on the bonfire squad, pin board, whatever.
Yeah.
I think some of those people might come back because there's just so many missing holes, and I'm hoping that in the next 2 episodes we will find out. So, yeah.
I like it.
Cool.
CJ, what about you?
Well, before my prediction, Robbie, happy birthday. His birthday's today.
Happy birthday to you.
We're really good singers here, by the way.
Yes, we are.
Okay. Well,
Haters.
back to my prediction. Let's go to you first. Let me think about it. Wow. Elayna.
You need me to buy you some time?
Yeah,
So here's what's gonna happen. My prediction is that we got tricked into thinking that the family dinner was gonna be drama filled because of a love triangle or whatnot. But it's actually gonna change since Crawford is kind of pitting Tegan against Annalise and Annalise against Tegan in a very awkward way. I think that that's gonna blow up at the dinner table. And I think that Annalise's mom is kind of gonna be the one to bring it up. I also feel like the FBI agent is going to get some information from Tegan because Tegan's not going to know who to trust, and she's going to turn. I feel like she's really going to turn on Annalise, and then I'm going to be sad and I'm going to hate her as much as I love her. So, boom, more fire.
I like it.
Okay, so I got it now. I think Annalise may consider just throwing everyone under the bus because, you know, in the teaser they asked, they said that you'd have immunity if you give us everything.
Right.
I don't know if she will, but I really want her to just tell her everything and just get everyone in jail. And then this is how like the series ends. And then Annalise just like you see, yeah, she gets away and she's like, how to get away with
Because
murder.
she hasn't killed anyone.
Yeah, she
Class
hasn't.
dismissed.
Because she did. Because she mentioned. Well, no, she mentioned she hasn't done anything on tonight's episode, and I want that to be like that could be like foreshadowing what's going to happen. She's going to say, I didn't do anything. That's all you. And
Well, there is a season 6.
oh.
All right, Pete
Confirmed.
Novak.
Right, he's like trying to kill the series. That'll be the end.
Pete, right here.
I don't know what to do with that.
Well, forget what I just said. My prediction is going to be wrong.
That's a good one also. My prediction, my main one, is about Tegan. I also think that she is not going to necessarily flip because of wanting to go against them, but I think she's going to flip because I think the email is really going to freak her out. It's just like whoever, I don't know if it was Michaela or Annalise or Laurel that said it, they were like, if they find out, she could die. And think about it. I mean, all it had to, it said, hi Jane Doe. Like, that's enough to horrify her. So she obviously doesn't know much, so there's not too much that she can do, but I think she is going to turn and, I mean, this show is How to Get Away with Murder. There could be another death. I think if there was a death, it could be Tegan.
Oh,
I'm not going to. My prediction isn't that she's going to die, but my prediction is that she's going to play a very pivotal role in whatever happens, particularly in the finale.
Very interesting.
And where's Bonnie's sister and her
son?
I know, it's like we
Laurel's
gotta remember
mom?
and her cousin and them like
Laurel's mom. That's, everyone keeps mentioning that in our comments because they're like, Laurel's crazy because she killed her
That's
mom.
why
I think she did too.
That's why I think a lot of these things that just keep popping up are going to fall off because we've never heard about Laurel's mom. We've never heard about Asher and Connor's mom again. Like
They're like, oh, we figured out other stuff that's more interesting.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. Well, it's only 2 more episodes left. Freaking out. So good.
I can't wait.
Until next week, y'all can find all of us everywhere at AfterBuzz TV. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe. We really want to hear what y'all have to say. We love communicating with y'all. Y'all can find me everywhere at April Whisenhant.
Elayna checking out, and you can follow me on all social platforms at hey_it's_lay.
Hey guys, Jaimi. You can find me on Twitter at It's Jaimi Gray or on Instagram at Jaimi Gray.
What's up? It's your boy CJ Walker. You can find me everywhere at ICJ Walker, even on YouTube because I am a YouTuber.
See y'all next week.
Please leave your comments, guys.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.